Hiya guys, Spectre here. Welcome back to some more Dead by Daylight. Well, saying some more, it has been a long while since I've played DBD. And I do mean a long while. I mean, since then I think there's been like 5 or 6 new fucking killers. Let's have a look. Killers? Here we go, killers. So, this weren't in the game when I last played. She weren't. The Knight weren't. Wesker weren't. The Dredge weren't. Guess that's the thing from Grudge. That weren't in the game either. She were. Nemesis were. He were. The little Ponts. Twins were. Blight, yeah. Executioner, yeah. Deathslinger, yeah. Oh, what's up with that one then? But yeah, there's been like, what? 6 killers? It's been 6 new killers added since I last played the game. I don't play killer much. I'm not a fan of killer. I find it more fun to play survivor, even though the devs constantly make survivor harder and harder to play. Bear in mind, I come from when the game first came out, and I mean literally day 1. And back then, obviously, you had like the killer shack had 2 windows with an infinite loop because you had no entity blocker back then. They could perma-break your hooks and your traps if you were a trapper. You had 2 pallets, 1 on each door. You know, so killers had it a lot harder back then and survivors had it a lot easier. Survivors now, it's like switched polar opposite. And then on top of that, they've gone and nerfed one of my favourite perks, Iron Will. If that's not 100%, that perk is useless. Because killers who've got a good headset and volume turned up max will hear you. So 75% it's wasted. So I've had to go to a build where I can try and escape getting hit, and then if I do get hit I can heal up. Borrowed time I always take, because probably one of the worst things in this game, other than like a camping or tunneling killer, is a survivor that farms you. Now that obviously depends upon the killer coming back to the hook as well, or being near the hook. But every killer should run, every survivor should run borrowed time. It protects your points. If you unhook them and they get down within 10 seconds, you lose all your points. And then some. And I'm not bothered about ranking up. Ranking up is irrelevant at this point. It's for your blood points. You get more blood points out of it. In terms of your ranking up, I know at one point they were on about making the seasons 3 or 4 months. So they'd reset the ranks every 3 or 4 months, so they'd have a bit more meaning to the seasons. But they reset them on the 13th of every month. So there's no point bothering. You can get to rank 1. I've done it myself God knows how many times. I mean, I got to rank 5 back in the day playing killer, and that was barely trying. And that was when killer was hard to play. But yeah, the ranking system is irrelevant. Unless they make it where the seasons are longer, like 3 or 4 times longer than what they are now, there's no point. Because your average player, based on how often they play the game and how long they play it, they're not going to get rank 1, they won't have the time to do it. And survivors these days, you're looking to try and get your points anyway to try and rank up, while including a death. Because in majority of cases, you're not going to escape. Especially if you get a lot of the console players that, from what I've seen, the console players are not even half as good as the average PC player. I'm assuming it must be kids playing the game, because they just run around like headless chickens for the most part. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't some good console players out there, but the ones that I get in my games, they have problems. Big problems. Especially when you see ones that are like sat in lockers doing fuck all. But yeah, I've had to change my build up a little bit. My main boy's always been Jake, and then they brought out Bob Marley Jake, so I started running Bob Marley Jake, using Dukes off. I mean, I'll show you how far back I actually am, because this is the compendiums, and I think I had to stop doing one of the compendiums at one point. So I'm up here at like compendium 5 or something. This one I didn't do, I can't remember why, and then this one I remember had a really, really hard one. It was you had to complete 4 generators in a single game. And they've changed it now, it's no longer that. So it's now completable. 4 gens in one match, unless you're in like a pre-made team, that's not happening. It's literally impossible for that to happen. For you to be there to complete them all, it's not going to happen. But now they're completable, I'm going to start going through the compendiums in order, get them all done. You know, just a little something to aim at, I suppose. And before we get too far into the video, I'll bring up this. If you are among the 95% of people who aren't subscribed to my channel, if you would consider subscribing, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get on the partner program. I'm well over the watch time hours. By the time of this video going up, I'm probably above 5,000. I just need to get this bar full. I need to get to 1,000. If you can help me get here, I'm on the partner program. I'd really appreciate it. With that said, let's get into a match. Let's get into a game. And now again, I've got 6 killers to learn about. 6 new killers. So I used to use different builds. Like I'd have like one optional perk. But I'd always run generally Iron Will, Borrowed Time. They were 2 like must-haves, and then Kindred generally. Kindred was more so with like random players. If you've got Kindred on, it allows all the survivors to see each other when you're on the hook, and then they can see the killer if he's within 16 meters. But if they see some survivor running around the other side of the map throwing down pallets, chances are the killer's chasing them, so they know it's safe to come and save you. So Kindred was a good perk for that. But I played it in a game the other day with 3 console players. I've got 2 of them here. And when I played it with these 3 console players, they were on the saloon map, and 2 of them were running around the building, being chased by the killer. Obviously, they can only chase one survivor, but they both were in the same direction like idiots. And one of them was downstairs in the locker. So I went stage 2, and then obviously then you only get 2 hooked, rather than 3 hooked. So, yeah. So I thought, if they're not going to save me with Kindred on, I might as well just take it off. But one of the other reasons I used to take Iron Will, really, it wasn't tactically to like avoid the killer so I could juke when I was injured, although that was one of the main reasons. But the other one was because I hate the survivors' injured noise. And I've played killer. You can hear the survivor so far away when they don't have Iron Will on. And I'm talking like 14, 16 meters in terms of in-game. You can hear them from so fucking far away. So you don't even need a good headset or volume up max to be able to hear them. They make that much goddamn noise. But now they've reduced Iron Will by 75%. You can probably hear a survivor from, I'd say, 5-6 meters away. So if a killer's gonna glide past you because you've crouched somewhere like in a bush or something like that, somewhere that's dark, the killer might miss you. They're no longer going to do that. They're going to turn and look straight at you. Unless they've got like really, really bad headset or the audio down really low, there's no chance of a killer walking past you and doing that. It's just not going to happen. Don't know why sometimes at the start of games get this feeling the killer's around me. They have made some improvements to the game though, like you can see when people are working on generators and stuff. I do like that. Bollocks is here. I don't know what that was, I've not heard that before. Well, I know the basement is at least. So what me and my friends do whenever we play the game together, we always have the discussion of, when you know where the basement is, if you think you're going to get downed, don't be near the basement. And the new wiggle system, by the way, I fucking hate it. The new wiggle system is garbage. There's like no point in wiggling because you're just not going to get out anymore. Unless they've got some perk that makes it like a lot easier. the wiggle system is atrocious.
Angerbar, is it what's his fucking face? The guy that hits you and puts you into the fucking thingy state instead. Well, at least we've done that. Oh, I forgot I've got Sprint Burst on. See, I've not used Sprint Burst in years. I didn't used to ever use it. I forget what the killer was called. Was it Legion? Wow, okay, that was fast. It is his Legion. What's this weirdo noise? Music. Run, buddy. Okay. Interesting. I remember when they first brought Legion out, one of my friends, Joe, was absolutely loving fucking Legion. But Legion was the most broken piece of shit killer in the game. He was the only killer that knocked the nurse off top spot. Nurse has been the strongest killer pretty much since she was introduced. Oh shit. I'd see if a killer would... What the hell? Oh, have I got a slow effect on me or something? The fuck with that? A cactus and they wouldn't run. That was weird. Am I being chased? Someone else being chased? Honestly, I can't fucking tell. I think I'm being chased. But I've got no fucking idea. Unless it was like a killer perk. Right, so let's see how fast this self-care is with the botany knowledge on. I know it's going to be slower than what it used to be. So this is going to buy the killer more time. But the only way I'm going to be able to juke with the killer is if I'm uninjured. If I'm injured, I've got no chance. I'm going to have to run the killer around and wait as much time as I possibly can. It's not that bad. I can deal with that. It's about, what, 15-20 seconds? Something like that. Okay. But yeah, I remember Legion being the powerhouse because literally the killer was the only killer in the game. I don't think they've done it since, as far as I'm aware, but I've not been playing the game for a while. But it was the only killer in the game that had no outplay at the time. And they had to drastically nerf Legion just to make it playable. because most survivors would jump into a game with Legion and they were leaving the match, and they were right to do so. How are you supposed to play against a killer that had no outplay? They were fucking stupid. One of the most retarded things the devs ever done. But I know the lead developer is a killer main, and he obviously has some poor tactics as well. Like I know he used to play like camping trapper with like I think it was Insidious or whatever it's called, the one that fucking kills your heartbeat when you stood still. Huh? You're safe, buddy. Go for it. What the fuck? The problem is with Legion. Legion looks like a survivor. He's that fucking small. So where's the fucking giant ass fucking killers? Or something looks like a monster like Demogorgon or something. But you've got this small little bastard running around. Was that a survivor that ran past me or a fucking killer? I can't tell. See, I used to not mind running around the game injured when I'd got Iron Will, because I could make it work and try and juke the killer. But I can't do that anymore with Iron Will's nerf. They need to put Iron Will back to what it was. They're not going to see Iron Will in any games playable while it's in the state that it's in. And if, I'm not being funny, if killers are saying, oh, we can't hear you when you're injured, use your fucking eyes. It's like a professional game of hide and seek. He's playing for the end game, so it makes me wonder, has he got the one shot down? Oh, he's got the insta-kill. Shit. Yeah. Fucking out of here! Actually managed to escape, Jesus. Since I've returned to DBD, obviously this is like out of recordings, I think I've played like 7 games. That's the first one that I've escaped. And the first one where my team actually did generators and actually bothered to save people. Although admittedly I was doing a lot of the saving. Yeah, I didn't get down on that one. But that's what I'm going to have to do for a... Oh god, he had the fucking Ebony Mori, the dirty bastard. So it's in your best interest if you're using that now to not camp at least. I remember when killers used to have that, you don't have to get hooked once, and then they'd just kill you. Or back in the day, it was just they had to down you, then they could kill you straight away. It was broken as fuck. So at least that's been nerfed to a decent degree. Where now they've got to get your second hook stage. So it's in their interest to either leave the hook and let you get saved, or camp your second stage, and then when you get unhooked, run you down and kill you. But that seems like a big waste of time in terms of the killer.
It doesn't seem like a good use of your time. If you're against an efficient survivor team, they'll just get the gems fucking popped out. But I think a lot of the survivors have been either chased away from the game or turned into killers. Basically gone into like killer mains sort of thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed my return to DBD video. There'll be some more coming. They won't be daily, but these videos will go up at about 10 o'clock in the morning whenever I do them. Because my main content is Total War Warhammer, but I will be doing other games. There's this game, there's Outlast Trials that I want to do, and there's also a survival horror game coming out with dinosaurs in it that looks really, really good. And it's like Unreal 5 graphics. Looks amazing. So if you enjoyed, leave me a like. If you're new around here, please drop a sub, help grow the channel, help me get to that part of the programme, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care everyone, and have a great day.